Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft 1.13 Survival. And today, you may have noticed that I have this book, and it's Statues version 2 by Stick God. And last episode I mentioned that I installed a few data packs, and one among that was an armor stand customization thingamajig. I'm not exactly sure what it's called anymore. Check the link in the description for the it's the Exuma's site. He has a bunch of different data packs, and one of them's a armor stand one, and a bunch of other ones on there I'm using. But the armor stand one, once you install it, I didn't know this, you basically have to do function, I can spell, function, and then it's called as statue in the code, and you have to do enable, and if you do that, then it gives you a book. Now I'm gonna throw that away because I don't really need it right now. But real quick, I want to show you guys what is capable with this. So this is just normal armor stand. You can place armor on it if you want. Just like this. Cool. And if you press check target, it highlights it with the spectral arrow effect. And then you have all these settings. So I'm going to show arms. Now you can see the arms. I'm going to display its name. We could name tag this to name it something else. I don't want the base plate. And then that's just basic stuff. Then there's this. Now, for now, we're not gonna mess with that because first I want to show you guys this. These are preset poses. So stargazing, for example, it's like that. Formal, very formal. Blocking. Lunging, not very different. And attention, that's pretty cool. So that's how this looks. And then right here we can change all of this. And then we can also lock and seal it. If we seal it, then it will, we'll have to go in creative to unseal it. So I'm probably not going to do that. And I'm not exactly sure what locking does. Like if I lock it, can I unlock it easily? I don't know. So if I was to move the right leg Y, I think it slightly moved it. And here's the annoying part with it, because it takes such a long time. Like you'd have to go like this. Okay, you can see that it's moved slightly. But there is a lot of stuff that you can do with it. Like you can place items in their hands. I don't think you can put blocks on their head. No, I don't think so. And I don't know if there's a way to put something in their left hand. I'll have to mess with that. But we can make a lot of decorations with this. And I think we might add a bit of that today. Okay, that's how you break this. But today, the reason why I'm in here is because this is what we're going to be working on today. And specifically, we are going to be working on like the decorational part of the entrance to this place, because this is going to turn into our base in the sense that we're going to have an abandoned looking mine on this island, and if you go inside, you'll see like a minecart track maybe that goes down this corridor, and it'll have like I don't know what those are called. It'll have logs holding up the walls. That's sure. And there'll be tons of stuff like that. Maybe some ores in the wall. And then down here, I want to have a like 3x3 piston door, and this will be the entrance to our base. And we can get working on that in a future episode. But today I want to work on the decorational stuff of this. So now I have a bunch of stuff here from our chests, and we are just going to start working on this. So I think the way I want this actually is to have this go down one more. So it's going to be something like this. And just dig that out like that. And then this will all be down. But around this area, I don't want it to be so flat. Instead, I'm going to want to have something that sort of makes it look like a cave shape. And also for now, I'm going to get rid of all stone variants because we're going to be adding in our own. So just to make it a bit easier, it's easier to have a flat base to work on. And just get rid of all this. And like that. Cool. So while I do this, I'm going to talk about what's been going on in the Minecraft news lately. Because if you guys have been unaware, I'm not sure how active you are in the community, depending on who you are. The MineCon Earth just happened. I believe it was September 29th. It was last Saturday, I think, or whenever this comes up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna post this week, the week of October 1st, or next week, the week of October 8th. I'm not sure which week. It's, well, September 29th. It was one of the Sundays. Just think of it that way, depending on when I post this. And what was announced, well, initially, what they were doing, I mean, all this was planned, but like from the public's perspective, what was initially going on was that everyone would be able to vote for a biome that's already in the game to be changed. So like updated, added features, tweaked a little bit. And the three options to vote for were Savanna, Desert, and Taiga. Personally, I wanted Savanna to win, just because I feel like it's, like, I really like the Savanna and how it is, but it just seems to be very, bland right now. I really like the acacia trees. I think the planks could use some work. Like, I don't like the bright color of the wood, but if it was like a darker orange, I think that would be amazing. I might change my texture pack to show that at some point, but right now, I haven't really had the time to do any of that. Okay, this looks good. But the Savanna was what I wanted, and they showed a few things that are going to be added. Now, one thing that kind of confuses me about the whole thing is I'm not sure if what they showed before is all they're going to add. I should probably sleep. Or if they, or if they have other plans or are going to make other plans. Because for the desert, they showed they were going to have meerkats and palm trees, which I think palm trees could be pretty cool. One thing that I really want in Minecraft, like top 5 things that I would like to be added, is new wood types, because I feel like there are not enough right now. Okay, that looks good. And they wanted to add palm trees for the desert, which also, for this vote, every biome that was being voted on will get updated at some point. It's just which one will get updated first. I should have mentioned that. So palm trees are confirmed to be added in the next couple of years. Next year maybe the year after. They didn't really give a date for the non-voted on. but it will be coming, which is pretty awesome. So meerkats and palm trees are confirmed. Then the next one, the one that I personally wanted, was the Savanna. And for the Savanna, they will be eventually adding ostriches, which I think is pretty cool. Now, in the teaser trailer, the ostrich stuck his head in the sand, which I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was just an old wives' tale, and never actually happened. But that's pretty cool. I don't know if the ostrich will have any real purpose other than just being a ambient mob, which I am totally fine for. Like the polar bear, I feel like it's too much hate because it's one of the only mobs that doesn't do much. But the thing is, I think what Mojang is trying to do is slowly add more of those types of mobs that just are there to make the biome or whatever they are added to more lively. Because just like if they add a new biome, let's say what's a new biome? Let's say they add some sort of I'm struggling now. Let's say they add some sort of like variant to the plains, where it's sort of like the Savanna, but it's where it's sort of dead looking, but not with acacia, and it has like different trees and different stuff. If they just added cows, that wouldn't be very good. But if they add like buffalo to make it like Great Plains or something, that would make the whole thing more lively. So I think that's what they're trying to do with the polar bears and stuff. But people, for some reason, hate that. I think it will get better as time goes on. I think so, at least. I don't really know what they're planning. But the next thing, and the winning vote, I should have also said this, it was taiga in the end of everything. I'm going to move this. I don't like it being straight. The taiga won the popular vote for the next mob to be changed, and that is going to include foxes, campfires, and berries. Now, there might be more, but that's what it seems to be. Oh yeah, also with the Savanna, there's, I forgot to mention, there's termites, which would have, like, termite nests, apparently, and they would be able to, eat dead plants, whatever that is. Whether that is supposed to be a new, like, there's dead coral. Maybe they plan to add dead variants to all, like, leaves and stuff, which I would be down for. Or if it's just, like, dead bushes. I'm not really sure. But it sounds pretty cool. And then also they plan on adding a boboa tree, I think it's called. I don't like this. I think that's it. Not sure. But the boboa tree would be another tree. It looks in the teaser, it looked very big, and I think that's just how it is in real life, so that's why. But yeah, and then the taiga is going to add foxes, berries, and campfires. I would think that the campfires would be able to cook stuff. That would be cool. If this would be like a new way to cook food without a furnace. Maybe even to the point where furnaces can't cook food anymore, because I have seen some mods do that, where food can only be cooked in a certain thing and not in the furnace. I don't know if I would like that exactly. I think it might be too limiting on the furnace, and like if it just smelted ores. That would be kind of bad, because what else is there to smelt other than food? But I'm not sure. And then the foxes, maybe they could steal like items that are on the ground for a while. Like if you know anything about mods, there's a mod called Thaumcraft, and that mod has a mob called the Peck, which is a mob that really likes shiny things, and if you leave something like gold on the ground, it will steal it from you, and it will not give it back. So maybe something like that. I'm not really sure what I'm doing over here. Okay, over here, let's add some stuff. So I don't think I like that, really. I don't really know what's missing. Maybe instead of having the logs go that way, I'm not really sure. Where? I thought I had spruce stairs. I'm gonna make a crafting table. But yeah, also what got announced along with the biome changes, because that was basically none of the announcements, and that just took me like, wow, that took me like 10 minutes to explain. Okay, I do not want to make that. Well, quickly to go over it, in my opinions, the next that was announced is, let's get some slabs, is Pandas, which I've wanted in the game. Like, I used to really want those in the game. I used to play a mod called Mo Creatures just for the pandas, even though they were extremely rare, and I didn't really get them. Yeah, I do not like this at all. I think I'm gonna add supports through stone and stuff. So something like this. But the fact that they're adding pandas, along with bamboo forests, or I think it's part of the jungle. I don't think I don't think it is its own biome. I think that they are adding it as part of the jungle, rather than completely making a new biome. And pandas will be able to spawn in there. The baby pandas, they can sneeze. I'm not sure if adult ones can, but the pandas, they're so cute. And they use real panda sounds because they went to China to record these sounds. Another thing with the bamboo, because that's a new wood type, which is awesome. They need to add more, as I mentioned earlier. They are going to be adding scaffolding blocks. So instead of having to use dirt for scaffolding, for example, you can use that. And they barely explained what it's going to be able to do, but I think from what they said, from the little bit that they said, you are going to be able to, like if you place them, then you can break them easily with like a fist, and when you break the bottom block, all the top blocks break, which I think is awesome. It's something that's been modded for years, so I think it's something that the community just wants. Because whenever something is wanted by the community and Mojang doesn't give it, community makes it. And oh, I had all these. Okay. But yeah, and then the next update. So that's all coming. I'm not sure if pandas are coming in the holiday update, but bamboo and scaffolding blocks are, along with they are changing how cats work. So they also barely explain this. There's a lot to guess at with these updates, but they said that they wanted to remove the ocelot from the cat. So it's still going to be a thing, but you don't team an ocelot to get cats. Instead, there will be wild cats in villages, and possibly other places, but but they said in villages, and there will be 9 different variations of cats. 8 of them are shown so far, and then the 9th one is going to be if you have a cat and you want to possibly be getting your cat in the game, you can basically tweet them. I think you should probably check what's going on with that before you do anything. But I think it's tweet at like Jeb or something, an image of your cat, and you get added to the voting list for making a cat that's based off of yours. And so one lucky player is going to get their cat immortalized in the game, which I think is an awesome reward. Just like one of the... So if you... I'm not sure if this is still a thing, I think it is. If you name a bunny Toast, then it gets changed into a model or a skin that is based off of a player's bunny who I think died. Maybe he didn't, but I think he did. I think there was like a backstory to why, because they wouldn't have just added any old cat. There must have been a reason, but I'm not exactly sure what that reason was off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's all going to be in the holiday update, which is 1.14. Not sure what's going to be called. I guess just 1.14. But it's going to be cats, bamboo, maybe pandas, and scaffolding. And then the big part of the update is going to be, here we go. The big part of the update is going to be called the Village and Pillage update. And it's basically they are finally revamping villages to have better builds. And also they, also sandstone walls were sort of secretly announced, so more wall types are going to be in the game, which is always awesome and always accepted. I don't think there's many people, if any, that will say that we shouldn't have more variations of walls and stuff like that. But the main part of the Village and Pillage update is that the villages are going to be improved on, meaning that like the desert village is going to look very, very, very different from the normal like forest. Actually, is there a forest village? A plains village, let's say. It's going to be looking very different because the desert one sort of looks like it's made out of adobe or something. It has terracotta in it. But the normal one is more like the current villages. And also all villagers are going to get their own, like all professions are going to get their own skins instead of some of them sharing skins. Another thing I'm not sure if it got announced or not is maybe more professions. I sort of presumed that when they announced it, but I don't think it was ever said. So maybe that's just me thinking. But it would be pretty cool if there were other professions. And part of the Village and Pillage update is the word pillage. And that is because they are adding a new mob called the Pillager and the Beast. So the Pillager is sort of like the Illager. It looks exactly like it, but it has a crossbow and it attacks villages, and it has like a friend, the Beast, who, if you haven't seen him, he looks like a big Illager colored buffalo, and he breaks fields and kills villagers with the pillagers. And that all looks really cool. It's definitely going to add something to villages, because we're finally going to actually have to, like, we've always had to defend them, but the way that at least I have always defended villages is just by blocking the door with them inside, and zombies won't be able to get in, but this will change it. One thing I'm not certain about is I'm not sure if there will be any I'm not sure if there will be any. I should have more cobblestone in this area. If there will be any zombie attacks anymore. But that's pretty much it for the update, and I just rambled on for a long time. So I'm going to work a bit more off camera, and I will see you when I'm at least good to finish the episode. So I think this is at the point where I would call it finished. Actually, while I end off the episode, I want to add in some of these, because I forgot about this, and some of this. Okay, one thing I'd like to mention before, actually two things I'd like to mention, before I end off, is that actually three things. Oh boy, this is going to be like a channel announcement in a way. So one thing is that in the last couple episodes I have added something. Oh, you should be able to place buttons on those. I've added something like acoustic guitar in the background, because someone named Wells Knight, who's a hermit, also did it, and I thought it really, like, I loved his videos because it just made it feel like, I don't know, it sort of made his videos feel like I was at home in a way. I don't know how to explain it, but I really wanted to do that too. But literally a few days, like, after the second video was up, and I was recording my third video, because the last video that you guys watched, even though that was technically the third, that was actually the fourth, because I recorded a third video, but I deleted it because it wasn't that good, and also, it took me ages to edit. But sadly, that's the creator of that acoustic guitar has he's like with another company who and for whatever reason they copyrighted his work. So, and even though he has said that he wants people to be able to use it for free, they don't. So YouTube listens to them. So my last video got a copyright, not like a bad thing strike, but it got like, it says copyrighted thing. If I was ever put ads on that video, then all the money from that video would go to that company, and also they may have put ads on it themselves. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I couldn't really tell you, but that's what they did. So I'm not going to be able to have that until I find another really nice acoustic player. Now, luckily for him, he knew, like, a family friend of his is really good with this sort of stuff, so he commissioned that guy for like a couple $1,000s, I think, to make hours of acoustic stuff for his videos. But I don't have that money, so I can't really do that. So until I find something else, that's not going to happen. Another thing is that the last episode was recorded about 2 weeks ago from when it was published. I just never got around to editing it, but now I'm definitely having more time. I'm thinking of doing 2 episodes a week, because I'm pretty sure that this episode is going to go up this Thursday. Obviously, you guys will know when, because it'll be up then. But I'm pretty sure that's when it's going to happen. And lastly, oh yeah, and actually, before the last thing, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode, because I sort of tried to do something different, where I just talked while working, because something that I think the reason why the last couple episodes have been not on schedule, or at least the last episode wasn't, is mainly because I've been trying to put too much work into one, and I don't have enough time to do that. So what I'm going to start doing instead is sort of like this episode, where we just did this in an episode. And next week we're going to be working on this area, and also I want to add some mine shafts and stuff in this area as well, and like some chests or something, just to make it more lively, some arbor stands. And that's all going to happen next episode. What if I did that? No, it looks dumb. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And I really like just talking while working. And it didn't, like, normally an episode takes me like an hour and a half. This episode took me 45 minutes, not counting this time right now. Because right now I'm just talking. But yeah, I think this is what I'm going to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And lastly, before I end off, is that I have changed my editing software. So last episode might have been weird audio-wise or something, like sound-wise. Oh, that's not good. I'm gonna even kill him before, so that if anything blows up, it'll blow up on camera. Oh, okay. I was gonna fix this thing up anyway. I don't like how it looks. Okay, well. See you guys in the next episode. Oh yeah, wait. I probably finished what I was saying. I changed my audio, thing, and also something I noticed was that there was a bit of FPS lag, in the last episode. So instead of doing 1080, 60 FPS, I'm now doing, 1 second, settings, video. I'm now doing 720 30 FPS, so it basically downgraded a whole level in YouTube quality standard things. But hopefully hopefully it'll look better, because to me at least, I can't really tell the difference between 720 and 1080 unless I'm trying to read really fine text. That's the only time I can ever really tell. But I don't think you have to read that in my videos. So it should be fine until I eventually might need it. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, I've been rambling all episode, and I am going to leave now. See you guys in the next episode.